And we're coming to you live here at the hospital here in Babane. Hello and welcome. A beautiful day on a Wednesday. Coming to you live for the first time on a Wednesday. Remember, changes have been made to make sure that we get you updated on everything. From Thursday, first time appearing on a Wednesday, today on the 21st of September. The year is 2022. Hello and welcome. What a Wednesday is going to be, because there is a lot waiting for you in terms of excitement, in terms of competitions, in terms of also upcoming activities. It is all about sports. We do talk business of sports. Otherwise, knowing that about almost a month ago, MTN Eswatini launched the first edition of Momo Cup with a package of 2 million emalangeni, knowing that now fans and supporters have a say in every move that is made in this tournament, with the competition, of course, beginning on the 8th of upcoming month in terms of playoffs. Then later on, Mhlaka 30, we talk about the finals. Now, fans continue the process of voting and also sending messages. We'll have once again MTN Eswatini with one of the well-known faces in the organization, Mr. Temidlalo, just once again to voice up about this initiative and also give you a chance to win, because the moment I introduce him, lines will be open for you as a viewer out at home to get a chance to pick a phone and respond to a question that he'll be asking you in the studio, and you get to win something. Otherwise, moving forward, the sporting codes will include a tech ball qualifiers for the 2022 World Cup, knowing that there is a tech ball World Cup in Germany 2022. The qualifiers hit the territory on Friday. We'll also get the sports administrator from the association, just to give us an overview in terms of preparations. Moving on, we have darts as one of the sporting code that is quite active in the kingdom. They had the annual general meeting where quite a lot of number of issues were raised pertaining to finances. Can they stop to pay less money to winners and chase for sponsors? These are some of the issues that were raised by members of the association. Netball, talking about netball, a tournament over the weekend. We saw also a team gearing up for a competition. We'll touch on who faced who is yet to face who in this sport of netball. Talk about other sporting code also that were active. Cycling, knowing their calendar is quite tight up to the end of the year. Cycling, of course, over the weekend at Ngonyeni, they also had a competition. Our in-house analyst Linda Dlamini took a drive to Ngonyeni just to look at what was happening. He'll be in the studio to give us what to expect. And last but not least, under 23 national team. They are gearing up for a game against Botswana this coming Friday. We're talking about Africa Cup of Nations under 23 against Morocco next year. Otherwise, in Morocco, next year. So if they win against Botswana, their next encounter is against Egypt. In the company of course, a coach Sfiso Nurondribane, they had preparation. So we get also to touch on them at some point. Otherwise, he's already in the studio. Now as a viewer at home, in terms of what ukuthi nangabafuna ubufisa ukuvotela iqembu lakho ungalivotela kanjani. Nguvusele Nkosi.
Vusele Fabs vusele nabalaleli emakhaya lababukela Eswatini TV.
Ngike ngathula umbutho Nkosi kulelinye jaha nje, but I loyal viewer ukuthi live lakho ukuthi liyamthusa ukuthi ufuna ngabe usebenza la khaya, ngoba it's a vocal voice for someone who ufuna ngabe asebenza in the media industry. But you've been quite exposed to such things.
Yeah, I think I will take the accolade from the viewer, and of course I've been in comms quite a lot, and I didn't know that I'm TV voice friendly, if I can put it that way. But yes, I'm happy to be your first guest as well in your first show on a Wednesday.
Wow!
So
good.
I think also if there is history books here, it's Eswatini TV, happy to be part of it as well. Yeah, but yes, we are speaking Momo Cup today, and
yeah, Nkosi nawusuka la Thursday ngicabanga ukuthi inombolo beti besolo ukhala ukuthi emaqembu lamakhulu vele labalandzela bakhombise vele ukuthi bayatsanza lama teams. In terms of the numbers, the votings were not that quite good. At some point on social media, I don't know if you will have also here on in the studio, but at some point on social media, I saw the votings. I think Nsingizini in Hospitals was leading. Some of the teams you would not expect them to be their number one, but I think the first team was Babane Swallows was number 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
before singene once again itabe khona lembuto lotakhona ukuthi babukele emakhaya, you get a chance to ask them and they win some of the prizes that you provided for them. But once again, to give us the overview, ukuthi so far kuhamba njani lo hlelo, ukuthi how are the teams racing so far?
Yeah, so it's hitting up, which is exciting for us who are watching on the sidelines to see how our Momo users as well as football supporters, because this is basically coming together. You have to be a soccer fan or interested in local football, and then also be a registered mobile money subscriber. So we are bringing together those two experiences into one through the Momo Cup. So now it's getting interesting because we are starting to see that, yes, the front runners, the runners which we spoke to last week, like Eswatini, Rangers, and the like, are still in the front. But what we saw is that we saw a growth in the participation of the teams, supporters across, but the front runners are still just in the front. I think yesterday, Eswatini crossed over the 1,000 barrier, and then today, Rangers just shot up ahead of them into the 2000 and several voting. So we are seeing a lot of uptake and competitiveness, especially at the top part of the section. We haven't seen a lot of excitement in some teams, but we are starting to see votes tickling by each and every day into every team in the segment. So it's kind of getting into the crunch of the voting, and we are really looking forward to see what our supporters deciding on regarding the Momo Cup.
Your time as a viewer, and as a viewer, whatever you are, on the first edition of Temidlalo on a Wednesday, inombolo masinyane itabi vela la screening. I think the questions also are going to be showing. That's the number already. It's on the screen. 76584204. That's the studio number. Now, this is the process. The questions are going also to be displayed on the screen. So there will be a question. Once you pick up the phone, umcolista ukhetha ukuthi ukubuta umuphi lo mbuto kule mbuto letabivela la screen na upemvula ke kukhona utakutfola in terms of Rama rewards. These are the questions, because if I'm not mistaken, to vote for your team during the Momo Cup, dial 6000 star 6000 and hash, and then utawuchaza nje as we move along. But nje mhlambe sacubeka nje as we wait for the caller, ngiva ngazi ukuthi in terms of also kuchaza kafishane ukuthi kuyendeka yini ukuthi umuntu angathenga airtime 1000 nyabekisa angumuntu munye asengitsi nje ithabankulu Kelly's ngithenga airtime 1000 ngispende wonke nje ngivotela team yami kupossible yini, because lo munye angathi buta ukuthi insingizini senebalanzela bangaka, because it's just an example, not that I'm on their case, but kupossible yini kulokuthi umuntu angabe while waiting for someone to call. Yes,
yeah, so the uniqueness yale Momo Cup ngokuthi isebenzisa your Momo wallet. So because there is no limit in terms of the votes per person, you should be able to go to whatever amount lonayo on mobile money, as long as it is an even number, it can be used in votes. So ukanza ukuthi mobile money has got a limit in your daily based on your uptake, which is what you can use for certain transactions. But for this kind of voting, you vote wire depending on kuti kikila kolunganani. And here it's a fight for votes, not a fight for number of people who voted. So it's a fight for votes. So if you want to be in it, show your effort, show your muscle, and get in with your votes. If you've got 1,000 bucks, do it. You can get your team 500 votes in an instant.
I think one of the key issues in series at this point in time, someone might want to call and they want to know, okay, I will call. Now, studio, you'll ask me a question. What do I get? I think it's also the price breakdown is under the questions. So,
the Mimbuto Yonge, they are carrying a price of 200 MPs across, except the very last question that is talking about the votes in Tenemalangeni. So if you get that one right, you also get Tenemalangeni in your Momo, on condition that you have voted on the Momo Cup.
All right. So
there is your basic answers that you can give and get your 200 MPs, and then on the last one you are going to win back your Tenemalangeni on Momo, on the condition that you have actually voted for the Momo Cup.
Your last one, Ushulomboto, we seen lokulumanga lokuti manga klama votes nanga chamga gu 10 rand.
10 Malange.
Yes. Studio line 76568333 That's the studio line. So let's make a number one caller just to give us a response to the question. Bawuchaza ngosi ukuthi so far some of the teams nasikumanga nama teams namakhulu imbabane Highlanders, Babane Swallows and Manzini Wanderers abakhombisa kwamala kulesikhathanyana they're not showing ukuthi they are leading in terms of the rest. Mhlawumbe ungasichazela through your experience yini enda ukuthi at this point in time singababone bahambe embili in terms of lama votes.
I think they trust their supporters.
Nangu ubhuti so versela inini siyabonga Dlamini is on the line. Yes, is going to give us also his moment. Sikuvusele Nkosi.
Yebo kakhulu.
Yebo ninjani Nkosi?
Siyaphila ninjani Fabrice Msonela?
Siyaphila nathi Nkosi. Dlamini, so versela inini siyabonga Dlamini. Nangu umlange ngithaku sita kulo mbuto wakho.
Yeah, we're going to give him the first one.
Yes.
So akasinike the answer.
Kulo mbuto wekucala to vote for your team during the Momo Cup. There are 3 answers. First one, it's star 6000 hash, and then B star 8000 hash, and then C star 7000 hash. Which is the correct answer?
Star 8000 hash.
Mawuvakala Nkosi.
Answer is A.
Sorry. Nxesi Nkosi ndawucela ukuthi unciphise ucishe le TV kuze ukuthi sikhone kuvana Nkosi.
A.
Nxesi Nkosi ndawucela ukuthi ucishe TV yakho kuze ukuthi ukhone kuvakala.
Yebo, ngiyabonga Fabrice Msonela.
Yes.
Is question A.
Question A. What's the answer?
Is star. But I'm not seeing in the screen now.
Okay. Nathi sekubuyela kusescreenini.
Yeah, I want to see the screen.
Yeah. No, I like your approach. You want to see it on the screen. Sekufika kusescreenini nyalo ke nyalo.
Yeah, it's star 6 0 0 0 0 hash.
Ngi-A ngi-B noma ngi-C. Ngicela nje sende kube simple. Ngi-A ngi-B noma ngi-C.
It's A.
Nkosi uthi ngi-A uthini wena?
Hayi uyamlahlekela 200 MBs wakhe.
Uyamlahlekela.
Uyamlahlekela. I-code yekuvota ngu star 7000 hash.
So vele ke Nkosi hayi it's not your day. You've lost 200 MBs, you have lost them. Ngicabanga Nkosi this is one way we are using ukuthi sibafundise ukuthi vele the process hamba njani. Because lokunye lokuvela ngokuthi most of people since the launch of the tournament they are not used to this situation. Mr. Vilakathi umphephethu so vele usela inini la embabane nguvusele umphephethu.
Yes, siyaphila njalo.
Siyaphila mphephethu. Mphephethu ngaphinza nje kuvetela on the screen the questions. Ngicabanga mbuta question number 2.
Yeah, I can give you question number 2.
Question number 2 mphephethu, how much will the winner of the Momo Cup tournament get? Answer A, it's 100,000. Answer B, it's 2 million. Answer C, it's 600,000 emalangeni. Lo taphakamisa inzebe yalonyaka uthamba ekhaya nemali leyithini la kule 3 wama questions. Kule 3 wama answers.
Tahamba la 600,000 answer ngu C.
Now ungakhathi awuve ukuthi utawuthini umlangeni umphemvule Nkosi.
Yeah, umpephethe uyishaye kahle. The winners of the Momo Cup will pocket 600,000 in Momo. Yeah, so correct. I think he's banking his MPs as our lucky winner for today.
So Kuru Mpepetsi for the call, and I think this is the process. Some of them, in terms of Gutsi, they should understand this process. This is why we're here.
Yes,
we want them to understand how this is done, because as we move to a digital platform, most of our activities in the sports industry are going to be digital based. Now, when do you get and how do you get your rewards? They will take your number at some point in the studio.
Yes, and then we definitely issue his rewards in the morning when everything starts so that he can enjoy his MPs on a full day.
All right. Just if you're a winner, to give an example, like Kolani Vilagati, your number will be taken, then you can call after the show to get a proper explanation. Would say 200 MBs wako utamtfura kanjani uqhamuka kuye Dlamini. Otherwise, if you have a question, you still call the number and then you get your MBs. Now, the questions will remain also on the screen at some point. Remember, take your phone wherever you are at home. 4 questions we've got. You can ask. You can answer any of the questions. Then we get a reward. Now we're moving to number 3, where we have to name one of the seeded teams that are part of the Momo Cup. That's question number 3. Let's try niga lotau shaya nyalo at some point. Let's see. At some point, you will need. You have now this draw for the for the supporters. Sna Sebenele Dlamini from Pix Peak. Usufu Serengos. Sebenele Dlamini Pix Peak siyagwemukela ehlelweni. Sebenele Dlamini siyagwemukela ehlelweni. Now. Yes. Yes, Ngosi. Siyakuvethela screen. Number 3 pemvura ke. All right, Ngosi. Name one of the seeded teams that are part of the Momo Cup. Yes.
Kwala la vele ke lapho kule screen sakho.
Ngicela ngivethele yinye ayi2 uvethe 2 ngicela ngivethele yinye.
Ngicela kuphendula number 4.
Sicela uphendule number 3. Sihamba ngeline baba.
Number 3 name.
Yobala ma options akhona.
Okay. Ngi-Rangers A.
Rangers, yeah.
Utsini Ngosi uphendulile uthi Rangers A.
Umbuto uthi name one of the seeded teams.
Yes, name one of the seeded teams. Bayaphendule 2 of the seeded teams phambilini. But nyalo uphendule kahle uthi A Rangers.
Ngabantu simtshele ukuthi kumala ama team la vetiwe lapha ngoba ngathi akasisho ukuthi athi lama options esiwavetile lapha ko.
Usekhona Ngosi?
Name ngikhona lapha futhi.
Umbuto uthi name one of the seeded teams to be played in this Momo Cup. So it's one team lotayisho, not 2 noma 3. So kula ma answers, how many teams, which one?
Iswalo.
Okay.
Yipi Iswalo?
Yeah, Iswalo B.
All right. Siyabonga kakhulu Dlamini. Now, Ngosi, just take the platform.
Asibonga kumlangeni. Yes, Mbabane Swallows is one of the seeded teams in the tournament. We are happy to award our second winner from Pix Peak, the prize of the 200 MBs as promised. So, my details are as well as Tawatata. But yes, Mbabane Swallows is one of the seeded teams. And now, Votela, you dial *7000# besu selector 2 on your menu, which is vote for your fixture. And then from there, you will see all the seeded teams. The first one is Mbabane Swallows. The second one is Mbabane Highlanders. The third one is Manzini Wanderers. You have to select that you love Mbabane Swallows or Highlanders or Wanderers. And then once you select that, you then vote for who you want them to play against. Once you select who you want them to play against, you then enter the amount that you want to spend on your votes. And then you approve on your Momo for the transaction to go through, and then your votes are confirmed.
Let's get back to the questions because now we have got 10 Malangeni that has to be won at some point. That's the table of the questions. We're waiting for caller also number 4, number 5 to answer the question. We're back to the table of the questions as we wait for the caller. I'm waiting for the caller. Is there any caller? Is there any caller? No, at the moment not yet. But at some point it's still at early stages. Geniza usela nini? Sikuvusele baba Geniza.
Yebo boss.
Njani?
Ngiyaphila sir.
Siboniso Geniza, that is the table of the questions. Sikunika number 4. Question number 4 Ngos, nai table. How many Momo Cup votes are there in 10 Emalangeni?
Answer B boss.
Umbani?
B answer 5 amavote.
B 5 amavotes. Uthini Ngosi?
Yeah, ngoba sovotile nginenza sembote ngoba le answer lena ihambelane uthoke wavota yini ngaphambilini.
Asesimuva.
Stoba nesiqiniseko. Sovotile nginenza.
Ngize ngavote boss.
Yeah, ngeke angene lo momo, but nje ngicanga nakangavoti ungayivali le program. Ngikhanzela ivoti lakhe selingale nangihlola. Yeah, angizokhona ukurelease lo 10 emalangeni, but naye akavote. Angathi sidamthindo 10 emalangeni.
Singakuthemba yini Kinitsa ukuthi utawuvota nyalo?
Welcome.
Kulukhuni. Sikunika lo 10 emalangeni ukhona ukuvota. Ya inganga nkosi angathi uthini.
Yeah, ngicabanga ukuthi usengavoti Gidinza. Then ifuna ngazuthi ngabe vele usocalile lokuvota noma utawukhonakala lokuthi uvote. Kodwa nje ngiyamethemba Gidinza ukuthi utawuvota, utawenda taba tekutha vote. Uthanza ini team yakhe Gidinza?
What's your team Kinitsa? Baba Swallows.
Yeah, votela imbabane Swallows ke Mr Gidinza ngimane ukuthi nasiphuma netinombolo takho la studio siphuma selikhona livote lakho lembabane Swallows sitokhona ukuthi sikuphethe emalangeni kaMomo uphinze uchubeka uvotela imbabane Swallows.
Okay, but ngavota ngalenye inombolo.
Okay, no good thinking asizokhuluma naye.
Utasebenzisa lenye inombolo ayile yakhe la sebenzisela nashayela.
Asibonge Gidinza.
Asibonga kakhulu Nkosi. I think we can do this for more than often, but usaphuma Nkosi mhlawumbe it's an exercise lesingasho ukuthi we keep doing building up to mhla ka8 into the finals at some point.
Yeah.
So far maybe kusifethela nje ukuthi going forward nini nicela kakhulu kubalandzeli bebhola going forward as we conclude the interview.
Kuningi lokwendekako and siyazama lokuthi sivakashele cishe onke ama supporters sitabe sihamba nabo PRO cishe emalangeni eliviki nje kusukela ngalesibili kuyofika lesihlanu evikini sisuke sisebenza nabo PRO sivakashela indzawo letitsite labanye basibonile itolo besikanye kanye nabo the Crescent at the Pick and Pay just speaking to supporters about the Momo Cup. So sitawuchubeka naloko sikhulumise ama supporters ngeMomo Cup nembabo PRO bakhulumise nabo ukuthi leni babavotele bafunelani ukuthi bavotele amacembu abo but ayiwina noma bafuna nje kuba le mali yokuqala isizini batabe batichazela abo PRO. Siphinde futhi sibe sebuhleni ngemgcibelo naye wonke MTN nelibandla la PLE nelaka MTN so ebuhleni tabe kontiwa ke imidlalo leminengi yaka Momo nema promotions la chubekako khona kamahlelo kwikwini. So speaking emacenzelo sivama kethi nena sifika ngeMomo Cup le kuba nalama competitions ukuthi na uvotile you play a game and then you win on the day. As Hambis, you win anyelang, you win on the day, and then you take your prize home and you enjoy. Normally, the team supporters come, and also the leaders of the teams that kona Momo Cup, they also join in availability abo just to speak to their supporters to make sure ukuthi Momo Cup bayiva bonke ngoba mhla ka9 na sibona ma games aqala sibheke ukuthi ihlole nato tibe tigcwele and then mhla ka30 stadium sigcwale impela.
Right. In the interest of time, so Akulu Dlamini for your presence. And we still have Monday next week. We have Wednesday, and I think this chance will keep being on.
Yeah.
For would see and but for would see would see for your presence, and I think we keep in touch in case there is any latest development.
And then viewers at home, but
they have it. That is Dlamini, the one of the officers from M20 Eswatini, just giving us a proper view of what we're talking about. Momo Cups seats in and know that there's a lot process that you have to go through as you vote for a team. Otherwise, a short break. Incoming Nolwazi Dlamini, sports administrator at Techball Federation, to give us a wrap up of how are the German 2022 World Cup qualifiers getting ready up for. Thanks.
This is Patizwe Msiwe, and I will be your host for Qatar 2022 World Cup right here on Eswatini TV.
Sanibonani nosotlo mahle libito lami ngilinda ngimaster ngoDlamini kuyinfokoto mbukela ukuthi nakulo mnyaka 2022 umsakazo Eswatini TV utakulethela iWorld Cup Qatar 2022, the first ever World Cup letaba se-Middle East, the first ever World Cup letaba in summer.
What a way of ushering you into your festive season as we bring you live games, your chosen best games, live here on your #1 channel, Eswatini TV.
You're talking of great countries from the African continent. You're talking of Ghana, you're talking of Senegal, you're talking of Tunisia, all people representing this great continent. You'll want to follow the games.
Players like Kylian Mbappe, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Stabes Baletsa live Eswatini TV. Ngabe ngiyi-host yakho-ke ngihleli nama-analysts, former players, the best in the kingdom. From mhla ka-20 November kuya mhla ka-18 December. Ungayinzawo, bukela Eswatini TV.
To give you the best games for the best edition of the football in the world. Stay tuned, stay live. We will be here for the edition.
There are thousands of reasons to smile with the Spar Rewards Grand Cash Giveaway, where you can win instant cash for what you want most. Plus, get amazing savings like 2-liter Spar ice cream for only $50.99 or Red Bull energy drink. Buy any two for just 22 emalangeni. Win your share of thousands in cash instantly with the Spar Rewards Grand Cash Giveaway, only at Spar.
They have it still with you on Temidlalo. This edition brought to you by Eswatini TV on a Wednesday, first edition of Wednesday after quite a long time as we're used to Thursday. And we're touching now on issues of international competitions where Tech Board as a federation, they are preparing for the 2022 German World Cup. So Velkona Nolwazi Dlamini, the sports administrator of the association. Nguvusele
Nguvusele Fabrice and nguvusele nema viewers back at home. It's nice to be here on the first show in 2022 on a Wednesday. It's really nice to be here.
The new show is bringing some technical glitches because I've been advised to take a short break and just wait for the technicians to just deal with something quite quickly, and we'll be back after the break.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds, full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, to feel the rush of life overwhelm you, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. You ask, and we give you the royal experience. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. There are but a few places on earth so special, so unique, and so spectacular, where it becomes the rite of passage for the ambitious travelers, the courageous souls, to all have the one and only royal experience. That day when you look deep into your heart and leap into an ancient world so very different from your own, where magic, beauty, and love are shared forever. Then you will have a royal experience. There is just one place on earth where the people make you feel a part of their kingdom, where you just might volunteer to awaken spirits, enrich minds, and work alongside communities to build, motivate, and inspire. This is truly the royal experience. When you dream of a different world, beyond the ordinary, beyond time, discover just how far you'll go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience.
was a good moment also to remind you about a royal experience to visit the Kingdom of Eswatini. And we're still with you, of course, at Temidlalo. I'm in the company of Nolwazi Dlamini, the sports administrator at one of the dominating sporting federation at the moment, Tekball. They are preparing for the 2022 World Cup in Germany. Dlamini, just to move on in the interest of time, competitions have started, qualifiers on Friday. How are things? How are preparations? Usnike just from the official.
Fabrice Lengago nje ukuthi qualifiers are starting on Friday. We're starting with mixed doubles and doubles. If skhathi sisina, so maybe we'll go into singles because we're going into the World Championships 2022 in Germany with 3 categories: mixed doubles, doubles, and singles. So on Friday, we're starting with round 1 of mixed doubles. The good part is that Emma doubles will probably be finished on Friday, so we will know who's actually going to Germany on Friday, the pair that is going to Germany on Friday. So we will play on Friday and then we will play on Sunday again. Sunday is round 1 of singles. Then the following weekend we're wrapping up things for the qualifiers. Then probably after the next weekend, Shoksi, the weekend of the 1st, Sister Watike could see who is going to represent Eswatini in Germany for Tekbo.
All right. We had Hungary, I think, last year, if I'm not mistaken.
We had Poland last year.
Oh, sorry, we had Poland, not Hungary.
Yes,
Hungary is where the head offices are. We had Poland. Now, there are many teams. There is, there's Ematekas, there's your Lubamba. Oh, how is the picture looking like in terms of teams that are likely to dominate these qualifiers?
In domination, I think Gune Olymp Africa that is probably going to be dominating the most, Guma doubles and singles, and probably after Olymp Africa, Gune Ematekas, of course, because our selection process because on basis of our club tour that we've been doing from the beginning of this year, January. So we'll see who are the teams that have been like in top form, in top 1, 2, and 3. So our selector those teams according to those categories, of course. And those teams were the ones who have been dominating, and those are the teams who are going to be qualifying to be going to Germany.
All right. And then we talk about also the pressure of representing the country internationally. This is the world stage.
Yes.
We're talking about, as far as I'm concerned, I think we're one of the best in the region. Is there an expectation for us if we do get a team that qualifies? What is the expectation for us as a country?
It's huge, huge expectation. This is the world stage, center stage, Eswatini, the first time actually, because last year, Bazama Goya, but unfortunately they couldn't go. So this is quite the first time mangasho, but not exactly the first time, but it's the first time. So a pressure corner, of course, because the level is really, really high. But our teams, we are hopeful we would see they'll be able to match up to the level if they can. Yes.
What I like about the sport, as we can see the pictures on the screen, is that you are not limited to take part of the sport as an administrator. You are administrator of the session, but personally you are an athlete in the sport. You play the sport and you officiate. And just to remind the viewer, she was recently in France for the officiating the games in France, and you got the exposure and the experience of being in the center stage of some of the biggest maybe guns in the sport. What could be the advice to the teams as they go out there? I mean, they haven't been there. You only has been at the international stage to see how things are done. What's the story? How does it look like? How effective people look when they're doing the sport?
Firstly, just to say, I'm excited. Our athletes and probably our officials are going to actually get that experience. How big the sport is in the world, and actually get to experience Leo journey, Leo. What I can say is, yes, the pressure is there. It's a huge, huge stage. The whole world is watching you. The whole of Eswatini is watching you while you are playing. So the pressure, yes, is there, but they'll get to be able to learn a lot, not just from an athlete's point of view, but also from an officiating point of view and administrative point of view as well.
All right. We're talking about now, as you can see on the screen, we're talking about teams that represent the country.
Yes.
And then there should be officials that get invitations too. If
I hope
that
so.
works, yeah.
If that works, yes, there will be officials that will probably be going as well, representing Eswatini, because this is world stage. So maybe a part of Borafela Labatobakona to actually go and represent as well, be a part of the world stage.
All right, message out there to the teams as they get into the championships qualifiers this weekend.
This weekend and the coming weekend, of course, but Friday, good luck, guys. All the best. Not too much pressure, but yes, there is the pressure. You could see, so good luck and all the best. And please do come join us. Of course, Stabiskalobam by Olymp Africa, starting at 8 a.m. We'll start promptly with mixed doubles.
All right, there you have it. Thank you very much, Narazo, for being also, in the studio to give us that quite effective explanation to what's been happening and what's going to be happening this coming weekend. Do know that if you can miss the event as an athlete, as a player, just like him, there's a chance at some point, if you are involved in the administration, you can still get the ticket to represent the country at this year's German 2022 Tech Ball World Championship. A short break, because the main man of this show, that is our in-house Linda Altamin, is around the corner. Time is against us. He needs to be here because he has a lot to talk about. Talk about cycling, netball, under 23 national team after the break.
This is Patizom Siwe, and I will be a host for Qatar 2022 World Cup right here on Eswatini TV.
Sanibonani nosokolo mahle libito lami ngilinda ngimaster ngowadlamini kuyinvokoto ombukela ukuthi nakulo mnyaka 2022 umsakazo Eswatini TV utakukulethela iWorld Cup Qatar 2022, the first ever World Cup letaba se-Middle East, the first ever World Cup letaba in summer.
What a way of ushering you into your festive season as we bring you live games, your chosen best games, live here on your #1 channel, Eswatini TV.
You're talking of great countries from the African continent. You're talking of Ghana, you're talking of Senegal, you're talking of Tunisia. All people representing this great continent. You'll want to follow the dance.
Players like Kylian Mbappe, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Stabe sibaletha live Eswatini TV. Ndabe ngihost yakho-ke ngihleli nama-analysts, former players, the best in the kingdom. From mhlaka 20 November kuya mhlaka 18 December, ungayinzawo, bukela Eswatini TV.
To give you the best games for the best edition of the football in the world. Stay tuned, stay live. We will be here for the edition. Welcome, Linda Altamin, nguvusele Nkosi.
Ngiyabonga Fabrice ngakuthola ukukhulumela wena ma-loyal viewers, exactly 2 months to go to World Cup Qatar 2022. Mhlaka 20 November iyaqala World Cup 2022. Eswatini TV tabiletha live ilethela wena ma-loyal viewers.
Ngicela ukuva velela uthi bangayinzawo tabukhona. Everyone.
The first ever ngesama ngicabanga ukuthi ngikolo special, the first ever in Middle East, ngikolo special futhi World Cup. Mbappe, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, but I khona maybe Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi tabe kuyi World Cup yabagcina, who knows, asibukele le 2022.
He's the man, he's here now. Ngonyeni MTB race over the weekend, he was the master. And in terms of Naskulmangema Baisigiri, it's one of the sporting causes that Singasho would see by Team Istera in terms of ensuring Gutsi, Wongumunet for it to Gutsi, Anganele, Emikutselo and Yap. Over the weekend, Boko now figured at on point. Nangbuga Langa, I think Nangbeg Sagashin, Bouting Bo 6:30, no ma 6:10 exen bo verukona bekwendekani kugcine kuhamba njani.
Fabrice uyakhumbula ukuthi bekune MTB lebekhona about 2 weeks ago emlilwane lapho khona bekuya ka imvelo base ke midweek last week ba launcha inyatsi ngonyeni MTB G2G Classic bekhona ke ngeweekend khona engonyeni ama cyclists bekaphumile more special laba enjoy ukuwona mountain bikes bebakhona baphumile Lencabanga ukuthi vele i-cycling njengoba ukhuluma ukuthi bayakhona kuyibamba ema-events, bayakhona kuwabamba imigcuzelwana ngokwahlukahlukana kwawo. Bekunama-categories lehlukene-ke Fabrice, bekune 65 kilometers, kube ne-35 kilometers, 20 kilometers ne-10 kilometers. Bangena-ke ama-cyclist ahamba kugcuzelana, but basahamba la ndleleni Fabrice kwaba nema-challenges labawavete ama-cyclist. Ngakunothisa emlilwane kancane kodwa because lo mdwebo emlilwane bophasi, but la kuleya Sengonyeni bavele le confusion abayiningi kakhulu ukuthi lama markings awekho clear ukuthi mina we-65 ngiphuma kuphi ngibheka kuphi kuze ngidawukhona kulandzela le ndlela.
Baba confused mbamba labantu.
Baba confused
baba confused etithombeni.
Such that Fabrice nase kuyowinwa kwaba ne-confusion lokuthi ngubani lo win ekuqala noma lophume kwabasekuqaleni kuyendeka le confusion le ngicabanga ukuthi i-association kumele uyithathe le responsibility because ngibo labati le sport. Yes, kuba nebantu laba organizer but as an association kumele ukuthi kube standard lokusho ukuthi ema markings MTB abakanje ema markings ngokwehlukahlukana lemgcuzelwano abakanje saw avoid tona leti lomsindvo lwagcina sosuka.
Masa ngicabanga le issue lena akusile issue lensha because ngikhumbula kahle earlier about 2015 kwavela indzaba lefana nalena masa ukuthi la markings ngathi kukhona labafana ukhanze ukuthi emgwaqweni bayasusa noma I don't know the nature ngathi nomoya noma any kwendekani vele ukuthi la markings agcine asuka ukhanze ukuthi nangabe bekuthiwa thatha ro right noma lo left.
Engonyeni Fabrice most of the time kuvamise ukuthi kube nalama markings bawagacela ehlahleni because lokudroba la pass kuba lukhuni kakhulu.
Lona nje lost yambona.
Yes, waba confused kakhulu. Le ngicabanga ukuthi lana nje la yafika jike khona ukuthi enyuka aphinze ngalapha enhlala kumele ukuthi angene khona ukuthi ngakuthi kube nemumvu nakhona. Ngicabanga ukuthi lama officials bangawenyusa kanjalo asho ukuthi uyangena nyalo lapha at least every 100 meters la kuqaleni nasegcineni abe khona lawo ma officials la director kungabi nale confusion because kulukhuni Fabrice ukuthi na uhamba ngelibhayisikile ube ubrika ubude ukuthi ngena ngakuphi kuyadelay nalesikhathi kanti sisebenza ngesikhathi i-competition.
Now, those are the things that the association has to work on to ensure that moving forward, these sporting court bangaendele pass in terms of being professional, these things are supposed to be done prior, ensuring that the effectiveness of the competition is done. What are the cyclists also responding pertaining to the issue and the organizers in hand to say what is their response to the issue at hand about the markings on the day? Linda Dlamini interviewed a few of them.
But nje kugcine kusothekile sigcine sitamile ukuthi sikhone ukuthi silungise lapho bekungakalungi khona, otherwise vele ama glitches bekakhona but umcimbi ugcina uhambe kahle kakhulu. Cabanga ukuthi nje nalo ukuthi bekusolo kune covid and lo mcimbi lona bekusolo umisiwe uzuba khona nje kulomnyaka lona bekusolo kude so loku sowukhona nyalo kithi kukhulu kakhulu singinyathi siva ngazuthi nje kube akabonakali lokuthi kube nale gap kube ngazuthi nje kucishe kuhambe kahle kakhulu.
One of the best routes ever in Swaziland, but some sections were not marked well. We just keep on getting lost. I think that's why we didn't do a proper time. We were supposed maybe to do like 3 hours 01 or something like that. So I think we were right. We were supposed to do one loop. So one of us ngicabanga ukuthi labo labayi3 laba play besisolo sihamba nabo bayendile le lab. So ngicabanga ngaba ngilo.
But mawufika lana ukhanza number 3 kanti.
Yes, officer ndisengikhanza sekuna babekhele embi kwami ujoin us house. Ngiyathi ukuthi kanjani because uqhamuka ku danger tap zone umgwaqo lesa ujoina, which is wrong.
Ya embili kufuneka kube na 2 abantu embi kwami ilungelo nasawo the rest bebangemuva.
But number 4 wena nyalo suspect hasondekene.
Angathi ngidawuva ngabo race organizers but decide akuthini.
Somewhere along the line, I don't know where, I was following the tracks
and apparently either the guys that were in front of me took a wrong turn somewhere, or I took a wrong turn somewhere. I have no idea. All I know is that when I got to the guard at the top, I was asking the guys, am I on the right track? And am I on the right track? And they said yes. So I just carried on. So I don't know. I came in second. See how passed me on the second to last climb, because I had been chasing these guys for so long. I was just, my body was just finished. So he took the win today. But I believe there's going to be a protest. So I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to end up.
It was interesting, just the trails weren't marked very well. It was very confusing. A few bits where I had to come back and redo the route.
I think okay is the fact that teamwork, because I was riding with 3 girls, siyakhona supportana in that sense. One of us, if abane problem, you support each other. So yeah, that teamwork counts better.
Ngikwento engcono ngisho ukuthi because mlilo
Tutuzin, as much as we couldn't hear him, I think he was also raising the same issue concerning about the markings on the day. I heard that the issue was issue of the roads. I hope that the association will be working on that. Otherwise, in the interest of time, moving on, another sporting code, they were quite active over the weekend, was the IDATS Association. They had a annual general meeting where they touched on these different issues. Now, for the interest of time also, I want us to listen to them first, hear what they say, and then when we come back, Dlamini will give us a proper explanation. What are their concerns? What are they complaining about? He was part of the meeting. Let's hear their concerns and we'll be back with more reaction.
What about so it's not something they held, but it is into a period later. That's not what just since engaged with the J image expecting that sets it up and do take time. And that's it.
Iwari yami ilapha kulo content sibona ama-prizes and-allowances yanama-tournaments langithule sibinawo yiningi lemali lesidifanda yona for lama-tournaments looking labo-22,000 nyalo nje sidawadlala futhi lama-tournament nasicala umnyeni nasicala lelo khwanjanisi nasicala there will be tournaments natawubakhona natawuphuma lakithi esikhwameni asesizameni indlela yokuthi sibathuleni abantu labatasibongisalisha lama-tournament ngingabekisa nje ngidawubekisa nge-President's Cup ukuthi i-President's Cup ukuthi because siyasebenza sonke niyasivela good, but let's look it organizationally on a professional level ukuthi you must utilize this cost mawuhambile asati ukuthi umhlangano uncharge amalini asiyaphi allowance
Complaints of allowances, complaints about sponsorship, complaints about being recognized as members. Uyabe fangos bokuna kahle kahle batsini i-resolution yamhlangano yagcinitsini.
Fabrice njoba usho annual general meeting ya ma-DATS, you remember ukuthi i-DATS bahambile bayiNamibia bakhona ukuthola emamendlela end bagcitsena league yabo lebeyikhona kulomnyaka iMalkensi yaba ma-champions. So lapha association ekhuluma nalama teams ukuthi awabe ma-full members babhalise ngalokuphelele la kule association babese ke uyathula ko umbekoti imali nxuma lo special long treasurer Mabhara wayole inhlangano wathula kumbiko ukuthi imali washo ukuthi ngenhlanhla some of ema allowances lebekumele ukuthi ngabe bayawathatha ngala association abakawathathi because bonke laba executive inhlanhla yabo lokuthi bayatoha le mali yongeka yale association but kwaba nema members lakhala ukuthi yes bayabeva ukuthi bayatoha but akube khona lokuthi bati lokuthi le mali esenjidisiwe noma abayisebenzise le mali asathi itawuchamkapi kuvele lokho kwaphinza kwavela nje usho ukuthi inzabe ama sponsorship ukuthi most of the tournaments wabekisa nje lomnye wathi the president cup akahambe president afune ama sponsors ebuye I sponsor ratio nglawo ama sponsors otherwise that it nengileti imvoti letakhulunywa.
In the interest of time, netball was another sporting code that was quite active over the weekend. They had their tournament. But for starters, we just listened to the president also, what he had to say, and also just get a reaction from his views. Netball tournament.
So lesihlosile la sifuna ukuthi ikhulisela abantwana. Sifuna I-national team yethu. Simdevelop lo mfana kusukela phansi. Lapha nje sine 4-year program. Lesifuna kubafaka kubo laba siyangaba kuma Commonwealth but asifuni ke lokhu nasekukhona ngema Commonwealth asakhona 3 months down the line sesiyacela siyaphithitela sifuna kuba faka ku program nje sambe nabo sibakhulise sithi sifika le ku international tournaments babe vele sebawongiloko lesikufunako hayi lokujubela.
President uthini kahle kahle bekwendekani uthini president?
Under 21 tournament Fabrice le idlaliswa ngiyo le association bathi bane 4-year plan. You remember ukuthi CEO iyogwabanika insaya ukuthi kumele ukuthi ba qualify for the next Commonwealth Games. So ba le plan le 4-year plan bayicalile ke la first ever tournament ema under 21 lebedlalwa ama teams. I'm very excited ke Fabrice kubona ema teams la chamuka kubogege ema teams la chamuka kubosithobelweni ema teams la chamuka kubulbulini nawuva labantu le excitement lokuthi badlala le tournament leso ngicabanga ukuthi yinvo lenhle it's a good nakuza tournament letawuchubekisa labamfana ukuthi bathi befika ku national team but khanze le exposure seba exposekile kubadlala kuma tournament lafana nalawo.
Now talking about under 20s apart from netball, we're moving to football. The under 23 national team is in hard preparations ahead of the Morocco 2023 AFCON qualifiers against Botswana on Friday. Let's listen to coach Sfisono Ndibane in the company of team captain Gwake Mtsetwa. Also, what do you have to say about their preparations before we get into the explanations of their interviews?
The team is ready. The boys are focused. The spirit is high. They are working very hard at training. Rain or sunshine, sihlala sisejimeni. So but Mr. Usebenda Gamatima and playing at home, there is that extra psychological motivation. Could say you cannot lose at home. So we've instilled even that mentality. Could say at home, come what may, we have to fight at all costs to get positive result. So the boys are positive, but we are happy as a technical bench with their attitude and their responsiveness in our tactical and physical trainings, because we know that it's off season. They are just from pre-season. Locally in Anzana. So but for the back off season, but we've pushed them very hard. Coach Babe ready for this international encounter. Having it's not Gwake only, it's Gwake and Tiger. They are currently from the senior national team. That is what development is all about. Having young boys going to the senior team and then come back, and also it boosts their confidence, and it will also boost the other boys. And they are also leaders in our team. Gwake is the captain, Tiger is assisting him, so they are motivating the boys and they are leading the team in the field of play. When it comes to time in football can never be enough. You prepare up until the last minute, so I cannot complain about time. The time that we got put a lot of practice games, with local and an international team. So
Said the team coach Swison Rontibane, under 23. Master your move preparations for Friday game. Botswana arrives tomorrow on Thursday. Singakatsani. What's the take? What's the Somhlo National Stadium on Friday at 3 p.m.
Yes, Fabrice. Imidlalo ema-qualifiers under 23 letaba 7 lase-Morocco. Eswatini yaqala iqala neBotswana under 23 lawa Friday imidlalo yokuqala then kubuyiselwa inyawo mhla ka-27. Njengoba usho ukuthi Rontibane nguye coach walama 23. I think they have also players la njengabo kwakhe ukhulumile ngawo nabo Tiger lengicabanga ukuthi bane experience labayitfolile national team bahambile baya Kosafa kwakhe ucishe udlale almost every game national team is the captain, so the leadership qualities la khona kuye sikathile ukuthi etenawo ngala kuma under 23. Otherwise home game ngikatse mina ukuthi lokungenani simshaya 2 amagoli lesitaya nawo eBotswana ku second leg.
All right, the second leg is next week on Tuesday. I think should be the 27th of September this year. Otherwise, for Friday, the game is at 3 p.m. and it's free entrance for everyone. Otherwise, this was Temidlalo, your first edition on a Wednesday, 21 September. The year is 2022. We continue to urge you to know that every Wednesday, same time, same place. We talk about football, we talk about cricket, any other sporting causes in the country, we touch on it because we are all about sports and they are in the business of sports. Otherwise, a beautiful weekend ahead. Prepare for anything that will be taking place here live on Monday during the Libo Eswatini. This man will be around the corner, also will be around the different places of the country to make sure that he gathers information for you for Monday and Wednesday. And remember, we are 2 months away from the 2022 FIFA World Cup Qatar, just like he said it, and it will be live here on Eswatini TV. Otherwise, for Eswatini TV, team, sports team, Temidlalo and everyone, as usual, Sitala Gamnans.